Today, good news for people who want to stop using Facebook and Oculus in one easy step. This is CheckPoint.
Welcome to CheckPoint, where this week we are celebrating Halloween with spooky costumes.
I'm dressed as legitimate news media. Am I telling the truth, or is this all just an elaborate joke? Ooh. What about you, Beach?
I went for the more traditional sexy French maid.
Really?
Yeah, only from the waist down.
Well, I can't deny that is a terrifying image. Thank you. A data miner has revealed the banned words list from the upcoming Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, Melody of Memory, and you might not think a rhythm game would have an online multiplayer mode, but it does, and you can't say honkers. Along with such winners as Hitler, pubic, rimming, and titwank, and titwank, are some less expected words like a misspelling of testicle, titty with an IE, or the medication Robitussin. Surely there's a go-to list somewhere that you could have pulled from instead of what seems like asking a couple QA testers to knock something out on their lunch break. And anyway, they misspelled titty. It's Tiddy. And since the list jumps from testicles to tits, we know it's not on the list, which is like, you think to add titty, but don't realize that it's an anime game? You know they're going to spell it with the double D. Oh my god, is that why? Is that why it's spelled like that? Anyway, why Prozac, Quaaludes, and Robitussin specifically? Why can I not name a character Prozac Testical, but I can name one Ritalin Titty?
SNK issued an apology this week for something that wasn't actually its fault. The developers for the mobile game SNK Allstar made an ad for their game depicting Terry Bogard riding a motorcycle past three women from SNK's fighting game stable, smacking them each on the bottom. SNK did not like this uncharacteristically misogynistic depiction of Terry, seen here in the Fatal Fury anime, I think he's waving at the woman walking by. Anyway, SNK has already apologized on Twitter and issued a complaint to their licensing partner, and while I have to agree that the ass slapping is just callously shitty, what also irritates me is it's just a bad ad. It tells me nothing about the game. I watched this ad multiple times, and the only thing I learned about the game is that I guess you ride a bike around and slap asses, and you suck at riding a bike too. Like, you've only been owning it for about 8 minutes. And if you suck bad enough at bike riding, maybe some women will walk up to you and sound like they're going to kick your ass, but they haven't quite decided yet, but you can't tell because you can hear that they're saying something, but you can't make it out what it is. It's like in those dreams that you have where you're running away from a monster. Let's say it's Geese Howard, and then Karnov leans in to tell you something, but you can't hear what he's saying, but maybe it's because you don't speak Russian. And all this is happening while the cameraman takes way too long to figure out how to cut away to something else. I mean, it's a mobile game, so maybe it's an endless ass slapper? Maybe you control different SNK stars riding through different picturesque locations around the world, slapping the asses of various other SNK fighters. And the game's always checking in with you with questions about motorcycle safety, and if you screw up on the driving exam, you shit the bed at 10 miles per hour, and the bystanders gather around to whisper shit at you. Well, good on you for being mad about this, SNK. I'd be mad too, but not only about the misogynistic content. I'd be mad that I licensed my IP out to a company that doesn't have any clue how to show off its gameplay.
Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed again. That's it. That's the news. After announcing the game had gone gold for certification, and indeed promising the day prior on Twitter that the game would still absolutely come out on its twice-delayed release date of November 19th, CD Projekt Red announced that going gold just means the game has all the content in it and can be completed, but apparently isn't complete, as the announcement continues to explain that they use the time between going gold and release to keep working on the game and raising the quality bar for a day zero patch. Which means going gold isn't done, it's just done enough to be approved for release. And CDPR knew they needed more time back when they announced that the period between certification and release would be one of mandatory developer crunch, requiring staff to work 6-day weeks. In this new announcement, they say that they undercalculated that time. meaning that when they made the call to overwork their staff instead of delaying the game, a delay was an option, and now they've done both. So that staff gets to be overworked for an additional 3 weeks. The staff also found out about this delay at the same time as the public Twitter post. Probably because disgruntled employees keep talking to the press about CDPR's internal decisions. Anonymously, of course, which allows CDPR's freelance army of cyber stands to keep haranguing Jason Schreier for proof of his evidence, refusing to understand how anonymous sources work, which I suppose is better than the other kind of CDPR's fervent supposed fans who are sending the developer death threats for delaying their video game by 3 weeks. I know everyone's on edge because the month of March has been 242 days long and has an election in it, but can y'all just fucking cool it? It's a video game.
Remember how back in August, Facebook announced that you'd need a Facebook account if you wanted the privilege and pleasure of playing games on the newest Oculus devices? Well, any guesses on what would happen if you decided to close said Facebook account? Last week, a post by @6live on Twitter showed a screen cap of Facebook settings that stated, deactivating your Facebook profile disables your Oculus profile. Deleting your Facebook account takes away all your games, purchases, and progress. Apparently, the details were nestled gently in the forbidden labyrinth of Facebook's delete account settings. No one just ever took a peek. Now, it stands to reason that if you deleted your Microsoft account, or your PlayStation account, or your Apple ID, it would probably have a deleterious effect on your ability to play games that you bought through those accounts. Digital gaming carries with it the implicit requirement that if you want to keep playing those games you bought, you're going to need to pony up some personal info to someone. So is the answer just make a fake Facebook account only for your Oculus products? Well, Facebook started requiring these accounts on purpose for a bunch of internal-only reasons because, and I want to quote Facebook's Vice President of Play, Jason Rubin here, we couldn't do a lot of the things that we're planning on doing in the future without unifying the Oculus user with that logged-in state. Please note that that quote doesn't say we couldn't do a lot of the user-positive things, or the stuff that respects user privacy, or while we regularly reduce our massive user base into advertising tokens to be sold to the highest bidder, while turning a blind eye to the misinformation, shady advertising, and vitriol that's become rampant on our website, we swear we would never do that to someone who just spent several $100s on all of our shit. So I guess the answer actually is, you should fuck Facebook because they're busy already trying to fuck you first.
And here's 3 more things. Billy Mitchell's defamation case against high-score overseers Twin Galaxies will move forward to trial following a ruling by an LA County judge that Mitchell's case does meet the minimal merit required. But then, of course, so does the case of Twin Galaxies, who are profoundly confident that they will prevail in court. Regardless of the outcome, this will most certainly be the new record for most money wasted on Donkey Kong. According to a Freedom of Information request, the U.S. Navy esports team has received special guidelines for how to respond when a user in their Twitch chat room asks them to share their favorite war crime. Unsurprisingly, all the suggestions are to just deflect by saying something like, quote, I am here to hang out with people like me who love gaming. If you want to know about my life in the Navy, I'm happy to discuss, but I will not speak on behalf of others. Nobody was asking you to. They asked for your favorite war crime. You know, the Navy, if you just stop using Twitch as a recruiting tool, this would stop happening. And finally, seemingly not above a bit of self-deprecation, Microsoft released a video for the Xbox Series X fridge, a real thing they apparently made 3 of, poking fun of the fact that the Xbox itself looks kind of like a fridge. The video shows it stocked full of food thematically appropriate for various Xbox games, including the worst nachos I have ever seen, sitting on a plate in the crisper drawer like how a psychopath would store them. No word on when Sony will be constructing a PS5-inspired supervillain skyscraper.
I'm hungry. What else was in that fridge?
A 3-tiered high tea service, a brain made of gelatin, some tomatoes, and like 24 cans of Monster Energy drink.
Weird soup, but okay.
Oh.
Coming up, Riot's music division has released a new League of Legends music video with their virtual K-pop group, KDA, furthering their evolution from a video game into a cinematic musical universe that happens to have a MOBA attached to it?
This video's got so much happening.
It really does.
The general sort of feedback that seems to be posted in comments, like on the video, like, you know, like in YouTube comments or like reactions on like Reddit threads or something, is like there's a real undercurrent's the wrong word because it's very much at the forefront.
Oh, the text as opposed to the subtext.
Yeah, the text is that I, the viewer, desire
Sexual relations?
one of them. No.
I desire one of them.
To hurt me.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Right? I want that one to choke me, or I would like that one to step upon my person.
That's a lot happening in YouTube comments.
People are getting way too comfortable online, man.
Yeah. I'm just surprised there's that many people who are like, I specifically am a fan of this because I wish to be hurt by it. Please crush me with your superpowers. Jungle my innards. Top my middle.
Really, it should have been top my bottom.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I kind of fell over
We'll
there.
workshop that
for a second.
one,
Yes,
yeah.
jungle my.
Jungle my middle and top my bottom.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a lot more sense.